Hi, and welcome back to another TouchCast from High Performance Living. This week we're going to speak about movement, topic of the week, and just invite you to visit the website, have a look at our question of the week. This week on the blog is all about movement and sort of associated with that, when's the last time you went for a bike ride? I know most of us probably haven't done that since we were kids. So just to invite you to think about when's the last time you went for a bike ride and maybe encourage you to go and do that. So we have again created a list this week, 5 quick topics associated with movement we'd just like to bring your attention to. And so on with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So the top 5 topics for the week, first one is going to be about moving better. So movement is something we should all be able to do, but in our society anymore, it seems that we don't move nearly enough. We actually sit, we drive to work, we sit at work all day, we get home, we sit around, we watch TV. So one of the things we need to do is learn to move better. So this is where somebody that's potentially a functional movement specialist can come in. I myself am a functional movement specialist, but it really allows us to look and quantify what's going on in your body, how well do you move, and what things can we do to get you better from there. So with that, the second thing we're going to look at is moving often. So most people tend to sit a whole lot during the day. Mm-hmm. So especially if you're at a job where you're sitting for 8-10 hours at a time, I encourage you to get up at least once an hour and to move. So set a timer, set a calendar reminder, something that you're going to move at least 10 minutes every hour, sitting no more than 2 hours at a time. Moving or sitting actually would be considered the new smoking.
The next thing on the list after moving a little bit better and moving more often are things to track your movement. So for me, I know I tend to do some of that during exercise. So having a heart rate monitor when I'm working out. Certainly people have the Fitbit. This one says hi. There are other options, the Jawbone Up. What other little movement trackers are there? And
there's plenty that are actually going to be on your phone as well. So things like Runkeeper, Run Tracker, there's multiple ones that you can do to track workouts, but just movement on a daily basis as well.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be exercise. I mean, that's what I'm using it for, but certainly there are other ways to track your movement just throughout your day. So that's next thing in mind is just keeping track of how much you're moving. The next thing, it's kind of, I guess, fun in a way. So echoing back to the idea of when's the last time you went for a bike ride, sort of thinking about being a kid and being playful and just getting out there and moving. So when's the last time you actually did any kind of playing, whether it's, go participate in a sport, go play with your kids, go hang out, run with your dog, whatever you want to do associated with that. Just being a little bit more lighthearted about the idea of movement. It doesn't have to be such a rigid, I have to measure every single minute. Just get up and do something, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So exercise, I mean, most people think about that they have to exercise for an hour a day. Well, that only ends up being 4% of your day. So you really need to move more versus just exercise. So this is where play can be. Get to a playground, take your kids out there, go for a hike, go walk some trails, do something fun. You can actually play on the playground as well. So there's nothing that says that you can't be a kid at heart.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Then our last thing on our topic today is one near and dear to me, but we'll talk about this. I'll let Ryan discuss it a bit.
So posture is one of those really key parts to are you moving better and are you moving well? If you're somebody who tends to be hunched over, you're sitting at a desk all the time, you're on your phone, you're looking down all the time, plays a lot of havoc in the low back, upper back, hips, all kinds of things. So moving better goes right along with the posture. So one of the devices that we have it on order, they just released it, is from a company called Lumoback, but it's actually called the Lumo Lift. And what it does is it's a movement tracker, much like a Fitbit, but it actually vibrates whenever you are sitting too long or you hunch over for too long. It actually will vibrate and remind you to be nice and tall.
Yep, so we'll just run on there. Obviously, we want you to visit our website. If you have any comments about any of the movement things today or the apps, we can certainly talk a little bit more about that. But with our time here, basically just want you to be out and moving. Certainly having some intentional movement is good, but also if you're in a job where you're in a static position a lot, get up and move a fair bit if you can.
Yep. And with that ends another High Performance Living TouchCast. Have a great day.
Thank you.